What is everything going with the BCCG? Like, what's the latest that's going on there with the Body Corporate Chairpersons group?
Yes, so definitely there's been a lot of work with census because there's no national database of body corporates, so it's trying to find contacts that they could contact to get into buildings, and that was an interesting challenge because, you know, there's thousands of these body corporates, and they're not, you know, necessarily the easiest buildings to get into. You know, they have extra layers of security, and you know, people need to get access. There's been a lot of talk about the change. So we've been expanding into Christchurch and Queenstown, and there's been a big talk about how do we best provide resources. So we've been doing hybrid meetings quite successfully in Auckland, or we've been doing them, and there's been a few challenges as well.
The old technical challenges. I haven't actually been on the other end of one of those online meetings. I'm usually always in the in the room at the time. But have you had sort of feedback about how the online meetings are going?
Yes. So definitely online. Hybrid is very difficult when you actually start breaking it down, because when you got 60 people in a room, you may want to address the audience at the start in that room, but everyone else can see what's happening and they feel a bit excluded. The microphone might not be, you know, it's stuff that, yes, it's not for that audience, and then you find that people get frustrated and it bounces, and that's been a huge challenge. Is if you don't get it right in the first 5 minutes, you get a lot of complaints. So we have been looking at ways to engage a lot more. So how do we balance people in a room versus people in, you know, that are in Wellington or Tauranga or Queenstown, and their wishes to get a good experience. And that's been quite interesting, that we're sort of looking at do we do it in balance? Do we do something which is solely designed for both audiences, or do we do the old school styles which we used to do of filming and then put it out later?
Well, I think you got to do both. You got to do as many different ways as you can, really. And I know, like, it'll start to, you know, the costs may make certain things prohibitive in that, but in order to reach as many people as you can, you kind of got to, you know, chop it up and have it accessible in as many ways as you can. You know, if that means recording it for posterity and having it on the website, great. If it means, you know, having a more beefed up sort of like production when you guys do the actual in-house meetings, then, you know, looking at getting more cameras or lapel mics or something like that. You know, that's, you know, it's just things that have got to be thought of. And there's also people out there that can assist with that. I mean, there's a guy that we've come across at a few AGMs for really big buildings. And he's kind of made this little side hustle business of doing these hybrid meetings. So he gets all the cameras set up, he's got all the microphones, he runs the Zoom side of things, and he does a great job. It's kind of like watching a TV producer, you know, producing a show. Like, and he's on top of everything, so that the meeting can take place without people having to worry about pressing a button or doing this, kind of like what I'm doing now. But, you know, the meeting happens, and he's the guy that's there just running it in the background. And so he'd be quite good to probably have a chat with just about, you know, what would be the next phase for you guys about upgrading your technology and seeing what else can be done.